Oh my God. Where to begin with last night? As you can probably tell by the, sadness and the look of, almost tiredness and disbelief. Last night was the Euro final, and Italy, congratulations, really, really good side. Really played well in the second half and in extra time to stop it. Got their plan right on the night, and fair play to Italy. Deserved champions. But I think we need to talk about England. I think we do. I've been one of the people who's been an advocate for Gareth Southgate and an advocate for this England team. And I think we need to talk about what happened in those 120 minutes last night. So, to start off with, we'll start off with the penalties. We have to talk about the penalties. Number one, it should never have got to penalties. We should have had more opportunities, but we'll get onto that in a little bit. But penalty-wise, Harry Kane, Harry Maguire, done exactly what we expected of you and what we wanted of you. Two leaders stepping up, going, I will take a penalty. Marcus Rashford, in the same, has come on to take a penalty. Number one, it takes some balls. Yes, it's an awful penalty, but it does take some balls. And Rashford, the one thing I would say to you is next time, just hit it with conviction like you did against Colombia. Don't faff about trying to do these little stutters like Pogba or Jorginho, because they don't always work. But other than that, I cannot blame you. You've come on and looked to be a leader as a more senior player in the team. Respect for that, but like I said, just hit the target. We cannot complain. And Sancho and Saka, you boys will have to come again. You will come again, and you will come again in the future because you're young. And realistically, Raheem Sterling, I'm looking at you with this. They should not have been taking a penalty. I understand Gareth Southgate was the man who made the decision on that. I understand all of this. But letting a 19-year-old at his first major competition take a penalty, the deciding penalty, the fifth penalty, when was that ever a good idea? Yes, if he'd have scored, he'd have gone down as an absolute legend for England, but he hasn't, and in all likelihood, the occasion for Saka was too big. That is the truth, and I'm not being harsh on Saka here. I am being harsh on the people around that squad who made the decision, number one, to take off Henderson, and number two, for Raheem Sterling not to take a penalty. These players deserve criticism for that. They deserve criticism. They deserve to be looked at under the spotlight. Sterling has been fantastic all tournament. We needed him last night as a senior player to step up and really give it a good go. We needed him. This is Raheem Sterling we're talking about. A lot of people see him as our second best player behind Harry Kane, if not third, with Jadon Sancho. Raheem Sterling, you needed to take a penalty last night, and that is where my upset is. As a senior player, as someone who has been about the block, played under Pep Guardiola, played with Kevin De Bruyne, played against the greats, and was at a Champions League final only this season. He knows the heartache, he knows the pain. I'm pretty certain this is Saka's first penalty shootout. It might be his even first final that he's been to as a first team player. And Saka has had to take a penalty. Sorry, something isn't right there for me. And then we look at the entirety of the game, and yes, we started well, but did we really? I was joking at the beginning because Harry Maguire played the ball back to Pickford and it went out for a corner, and I joked and said tactical corner, and yes, we ended up scoring from it. But did we start well? Not really. It was a matter of a good counter-attack and Kane's probably only involvement in the entirety of the game. Yes, we did well, and in that first half we deserved to be ahead. I think we need to give some credit to Declan Rice. I think Declan Rice was brilliant last night. Don't think he should have been taken off. Same with Calvin Phillips. I think he was brilliant as well. And I don't think either of them two players should have been taken off. I agree that Henderson needed to come on. We needed some leadership. But to then take him off for penalties and not take off Saka, if you're going to sub, take off Saka. Henderson knows what it's like to miss a penalty. He missed against Colombia, I'm pretty certain. He knows what it's like. And because of that, he knows the importance of it. Saka is still 19. He's 2 years younger than me. Would you want me taking a penalty? Absolutely not. Both of these players will come again. But Henderson shouldn't have been taken off in the first place. And then we look at the rest of the team. We look around elsewhere. I think Mason Mount wasn't good enough. Again, I'm not going to criticise the young lads because I think they have a lot to learn. Mason Mount has been, for me, he's been great all tournament. His off-the-ball play has been fantastic. Yes, we needed Grealish on earlier last night. We did need him earlier last night. Playing 100 minutes for Mason Mount when he wasn't in the best of form and not having a very good game, that should have been earlier. But maybe Southgate saw something in the pressing department that maybe us at home didn't see. And maybe there was a role that Mason Mount was playing that stopped an Italian midfielder, because he can always do that. But he is only 22. He will come again. He will be much better next time, if there is a next time we get to a final. I feel sorry for every single player in that group of people, because Southgate has been really, really good over the course of the tournament. He's not really put a foot wrong. Yes, the game against Scotland wasn't great, and we should have made subs in that game as well earlier on than we did. But Southgate deserves criticism for taking off Jordan Henderson. Yes, that is. And, of course, not bringing on Jack Grealish until the 100th minute. You're not giving Jack Grealish a fair run of the green there. Mason Mount wasn't good enough in that game. He should have been taken off earlier. But, and this is a massive but, Gareth Southgate, the people who are hating on Gareth Southgate and saying he should lose his job, this man has just taken us to a European final for the first time ever. And that's on the back of a semi-final. Yes, with both of these in the World Cup semi-final and the final, you can say, oh, it was an easy run-in. But it's never an easy run-in, is it? It's never an easy run-in. It's credit where credit's due to us that we got there. A lot of teams messed up. Germany messed up. Portugal messed up. France messed up. These were the people who everyone expected to win the Euros. They all messed up. Yes, other teams beat them, but we still beat the Germans. We beat a very good Denmark team and a Ukraine team that could clearly hold their own, and we made them look like they were nothing. Anyone calling for Gareth Southgate to lose his job is a fool. Because Gareth Southgate knows what it means to be English. He knows what it means to be there on that big stage, make that final decision, take that final penalty. And unfortunately, you guys sitting at home and me, myself, don't know that. That is why he deserved the hope and the backing of our fans. Because he has done it before. He has taken us to a semi-final and now he's taken us to a final. And every time Gareth Southgate has come back and he's looked better. And he's looked better than ever. And his decision making has been slightly better. And he's tweaked stuff. And he's not been afraid. He's not been afraid whatsoever. People criticising him for not bringing on Grealish earlier on in the tournament. I don't think Grealish works as well in this England side as he does coming off as a sub. I think as a sub he works absolutely brilliantly. Bringing him on at 60 minutes when the likes of Mount, Sterling and Saka have ran the midfielders and defenders ragged, he works fantastically. But I don't think he works quite as well. And it's not anything to do with the reputation of the players. Otherwise, Saka wouldn't have started. Saka would not have been starting. Saka got there on merit. And he deserves all the praise that he gets, Saka. And I think he deserves praise for last night. Yes, he missed the penalty. But at 19 years old, I would not have had the balls to stand in front of, 65,000 people in Wembley with the whole world's eyes looking at you. I would not have had the balls to do that. Saka, fair play. And, it takes some courage. So, Saka, thank you. And on that note, these three players who've missed the penalty, yes, we can criticise them. I don't like to... The only thing with Rashford I can criticise is the fact he hasn't hit the target. But Sancho, Saka, Rashford, they should not be getting abuse. They should be getting criticism, maybe. But they shouldn't be getting abuse. And if you're one of them fools who has been abusing any of our English players in any way, shape or form, then you are the problem and you might as well not support England because we don't want you. The final point I'm going to make on this England journey, and what a journey it has been, by the way. Jordan Pickford, I have never been more proud to see you as my England goalkeeper. You were phenomenal last night. You made so many good saves and 2 fantastic penalty saves as well. So, Jordan Pickford, you have been absolutely amazing, and you can hang your head up high after last night and say, I saved 2 penalties, I did my job. And just to end this, bit of a different video really, I've got to talk about, well, I've got to address rival fans, and I'm looking at, well, everyone who isn't English and who thinks it's coming home is some arrogant slogan that the English fans use to be, just arrogant and completely oblivious to the world going on around us. Because it's coming home means so much more than you guys can ever realise. Because it isn't about being arrogant. We never think we're going to get this far. The only time I believed football was coming home in the last 2 tournaments was that Trippier free kick and that Luke Shaw goal last night. That is the only time I genuinely believed it. And that's what it's about. It's about belief that our team, that our nation can unify, that we can do well at a tournament after so many years of hurt. And rival fans, you just don't get it. It doesn't matter how many times we try and explain it to you. Yes, you can call us arrogant, but it's about the passion. It's about the want and the desire and this longing and this heartbreak that we've felt for 55 now, which will be 56 years, and overcoming that and proving to the world that yes, England are a team that should be threatening and they are a good team and you guys should be scared of it. And rival fans, you can laugh at us all you want, because in reality we know it's jealousy. How many times have we seen Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, Ireland in finals? We haven't. Yes, Wales got to a semi-final, and you could argue that, they were very, very good to be there. They deserved to be there. But also, it was the first one. It is jealousy, and England have done us absolutely proud. And whilst football might not be physically coming home this year, I think we've done an absolutely fantastic job in reuniting a nation and making a nation believe in our football team again. At the end of the day, football is the world's most popular sport. It's the sport that has the most fans and the biggest following. An England team to perform that well at that higher level and go all the way to a European final, in my opinion, they deserve all the credit. And you know what? I hope the players last night who have got abuse and have got heavy criticism for performances such as Mason Mount, Rashford, Sancho, Saka, all these players who maybe didn't perform to their best. I hope they just ignore it, because they have made, as a whole, over this tournament, our nation proud. And I could not be prouder to be British. And the phrase, it's coming home, if you really think that's going to stop, next year we will be back behind the boys yet again, singing, it's coming home.